It's the Score North Twin Show.
Cue the sad trombone. I don't have my sound effects. I don't have any sound effects with me, actually, at any time. But Twins lose today. They dropped the series finale. Score North Twin Show, Extra Innings. Declan Goff, Judd Zulgad. We're both at Target Field. Judd's in his infamous janitor closet, which I think they're going to actually name after you. It's a little
It's hot
steamy.
in here. It's hot in here right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I've got a napkin to keep myself a little bit cooled off. But, yeah, it's hot.
For the audio audience, disheveled Judd right now.
Yep.
His hair is all over the place because of the humidity. He's got a napkin. He's wiping the sweat off his brow. Maybe a napkin for Edouard Julien's throwing motion on the turn of the double play there in the 9th inning. Brutal way to end this one, Judd. It was low scoring. It was low offense. Tailor-made double play. I asked you, I know this is easy to do hindsight after the fact, but I said, should he have just taken the out at first? Just a normal question. I wasn't questioning it. And you said, no, that's about as tailor-made as it should be, and you got to convert that.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, there's other things you and I can also talk about from today's game that I do want to discuss, but I mean, a brutal game, and obviously, unfortunately, falls mostly on the shoulders of Edouard Julien's errant throw. And
he had just a terrible game. I actually think for as much as he struggled at the plate a lot of this season when he's been here, that Julien's play at second base, which he worked on a lot during the winter. We talked about this for a long time, how much he worked on that, and I did think that it was improved, but today it was awful. He olayed a ball early on. I have no idea what he was trying to do. I think it caught him with an in-between hop. He actually earlier, I think in the inning, had a ball that he couldn't handle, and he wasn't going to get the out, but he basically booted it into left field, and then that play. So, yeah, this was just a culmination of a really bad day for Julien and a bad week for the Twins.
Right. I mean, yeah, if you go back, obviously, still to the San Diego series, you're able to salvage a game out of that. Friday was a disaster here, pretty much. I know you were at both games. And then on Saturday, I mean, great day by Pablo, Sonny Gray. They were able to hit him pretty well. But then things looked good. The Twins, for the first time all season, lost a ball game, too. When leading after 8 innings, they were 59-0. When leading after 8 innings, there's now a blemish of 1 on that record for today. And with Cleveland winning, I believe the Royals just ended things. They lost to the Phillies today. But now you're 3 games back. And yes, the Red Sox are still reeling, but just missed opportunities. And back-to-back drop series, Judd. I have to probably go back. Maybe, did they win the series in San Francisco before the break, or did they lose that series?
I would have to go back and look, but I've got it right here.
I've got the
sheet right here.
And because the All-Star break was 2 games against Milwaukee here, they got swept. But when was the last
They lost
time?
that series.
Okay.
To San Francisco. They lost it. They lost 2 or 3.
The last time, then I would assume the last time they lost a true traditional 3 or 4 game series, back-to-back series, which they've lost now 3-gamer series. They lost to San Diego. They lost this 3-game series to St. Louis. Was it New York and Cleveland? I think I can't remember the last time they've dropped 4 of 6 or dropped back-to-back series. It's been about 2-3 months since that's happened.
I think you're right, but I think to go back to a week ago now, I think the 3 defeats that you look at that are so disturbing are a week ago Sunday in Texas. Now, you won 3 of 4 there, but you had a real chance to sweep. And in retrospect, after that one loss, I wouldn't say that it was a disaster, but then you've got the Oakert loss in San Diego, and then this one. So those 3, on Friday, you just got beat, and it's going to happen. So you're going to have bad days. But you literally nabbed a loss from the jaws of victory in 3 games. And if you're a real playoff team, a real contender, you don't beat yourself. And it feels like today, and today, by the way, was not Duran's fault, but it feels like today the Twins and the Oakert game and the game in Texas, it feels like the Twins beat themselves. And here's what disturbs me. It includes everyone in the dugout, including Baldelli. Like, there are some, again, we discussed this in real time. There were some odd decisions today. The Alcala staying in Texas, what was that, Deck? 7 batters. Like, he has to face 3, but once it starts to unravel, you might want to be like, okay, this isn't working. And then the Oakert decision, which is probably going to go down as one of the most baffling of the entire season. So those 3 defeats within a week really stand out to me as disturbing losses. I understand you're going to lose, but if you're a good team, you shouldn't lose games that are basically in your back pocket to a certain degree.
We'll have a State of the Twins tomorrow with Mackie, Judd, myself, so stick around for that tomorrow. Hit the like button, subscribe button on this YouTube channel for Twins content. Trevor Plouffe will also join us on Tuesday. Let's also, because I see comments on this in the YouTube section, Farmer in for Wallner was crazy. This was another weird decision to me, and I tend to agree and understand the philosophy of platoons. But Kyle Farmer was going to enter the game in the ninth inning regardless, most likely at second base, I would assume, because he usually does that as a defensive replacement.
Yep.
And instead, with one out and an insurance run in Royce Lewis at third base, who, by the way, didn't start today, delivers a classic heroic pinch hit off the bat to give the Twins what was supposed to be the win. You got one out, and you pinch hit Kyle Farmer. And look, Wallner doesn't hit lefties well, but he also has the best OPS on the team. That decision to me was very confusing. I don't understand it. And then Kyle Farmer has to go in at shortstop, where really his best suited position is second base. It forces Willie Castro to go to left field. And of course, all this really starts with Max Kepler being a late scratch about 20 minutes before first pitch with knee soreness. He apparently, from Rocco, was getting treatment all throughout the game in the trainer's room. He has an MRI coming up. And I have seen this play. I know, I'm not a big theater guy, Judd, but I have seen this act numerous times. You're a connoisseur of the theater. I am not.
Yep, I love it.
But I know how this play goes. They're gonna.
They got to They got to make a move here. Like you can't have this bench, man. You can't do this. We can't play this game with Max.
Yeah. So Kepler is going to have an MRI. We'll see what the severity is from that. And now I'm going to guess who Brooks Lee had a great day today with the St. Paul Saints. I'm going to assume Julien for Lee. That's an easy swap. We can just make that swap, whether that's tomorrow or whenever. But now the Kepler thing becomes just, can you just IL him at that point? Like, do you want him to take up? They didn't have an answer here in the ninth inning because they were so short on guys because of Kepler's injury, regardless before first pitch.
Yep.
If there's something wrong, just IL Max and make a roster move.
So let's go back to the Wallner thing, though, because this is what happens to Rocco and the Twins. It's not just him. Like those, because he's in communication with his bench coaches and stuff. But let's go back to that move, because here's what I don't get about that move. He got totally rope-a-doped.
Yep.
You knew the second, because that lefty was not exactly tearing it up, right? So the second that they got Wallner out of the game, you knew that they were going to go get that guy out and bring in a righty. And then to your point, the Cardinals were aware of the Twins' bench woes, right? So now Farmer has to face a righty. He pops up. I mean, you would have been better off looking out in the Cardinals' bullpen and saying, you know what, screw it. We're going to let Wallner hit, not because we think it's going to be great, but here's the fallout. You're right. Farmer should have been at second base. Yeah. Julian's out of the game. It's Castro at short. That's 4-6. That's 4-6 and potentially 4-6-3. Farmer, Castro, to Santana. So that's the thing. And it also, it resulted in all of this from one move that wasn't necessary because you knew what the Cardinals' answer was going to be. Why are you outthinking yourself so drastically there? Like you're right. What they should have said was, okay, Farmer has to play second. So if we do this, he can't play second. We'll let Matt hit, and then they leave the lefty in. You take your chances there, but I think Baldelli and the coaching staff just got played by the Cardinals, and to me that is a very disturbing thing, and here's why. And we've talked about this. This is not about today. This is about the playoffs, okay? You do this crap in a playoff game?
Yeah.
How stupid do you look,
They subbed out a guy who right now, in Matt Wallner, entered play today with a 992 OPS and then 173 OPS plus, which means he is 73% better than the average hitter. 173 OPS is insane, and they pinched hit him for Kyle Farmer to try to get a platoon split, which then you just played yourself into. There has been some and I've really tried not to be Mr. completely overreact over a baseball season. I will say over the last week, there have been just some baffling decisions made from management, from the staff. Yes, it falls on Rocco's shoulders, but that move, and you literally took the bat out of the hand of your best hitter on the team right now, Matt Wallner. And they didn't give Royce a day today. That's fine. I was fine keeping Royce off his feet. They brought him as a pinch hitter. He delivers a clutch moment. Awesome. But to take out Matt Wallner and put in Kyle Farmer and then go righty on righty, and then Farmer pops up on the first pitch.
And then you don't have him at second base, where he would have been like Kyle Farmer's biggest value in today's game should have been in the field, not at the plate. 100%. And you know that with Kepler down, you're sort of screwed, right? But I mean, where's Jace Tingler to say, "Hey, Rocco, dummy, don't do that"? Like that's what I don't get. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we've seen 3 defeats in particular this week where you can draw a lot of parallels to. You've just opened up the door to, I'm afraid you would do that in a playoff game, and you don't survive that. Like in the big picture, are they going to miss the playoffs because they lost 3 games? They might lose the division. We don't know how that plays out. Probably don't miss the playoffs. So don't get excited about it. It's a long year. I get that. But everything, if you're a playoff team and everything that you could sort of point at and say, what if you were to do that in October? There have been at least 2 or 3 things this week, like the Okert thing, the Alcala thing. Now I have no problem. Alcala pitching on Sunday, no problem there. That's a good move. Yeah. But at some point, when the ball's flying all around that godforsaken, ugly ballpark in Texas, don't you say, whoa, we got to get him out. What is Okert doing? Like, he went from pitching against the Padres to being DFA'd, Dex, in 3 days.
Right, yeah. The whole thing to me has been very confusing. Now you've lost back-to-back series. Yes, you're 3 games back as of the end of play this week. The Twins have 3 games coming up against Atlanta, who is reeling. They're not as maybe strong as they were at full strength. They're also very beat up and hurt. The Twins will throw Bailey Ober, Simeon Woods Richardson, and David Festa 1, 2, 3 respectively in
check out that Wednesday.
Series.
Check out that Wednesday pitching matchup, though.
Chris Sale versus David Festa, a couple skinny boys just throwing discs over the plate.
And Sale's back.
He's back, yeah.
Sale is, I thought he was done. He is back, and he's back with a vengeance.
Yeah, so that's going to be a fun series as well. Hit the like button, subscribe button. This is Score North Extra Innings. And I know Brooks Lee's probably going to come up. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Byron Buxton's probably another day or two. I don't, judging by the comments he made yesterday, unless they force it, and Kepler has to go on the IL, which I don't think they're going to do with Byron. They have never forced things.
No. It's
totally with him, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
So Brooks Lee, I would expect.
Who comes up for Kep?
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
you need a body.
Here's what's probably going to happen. They're gonna have Kepler as just on the bench, inactive and not being able to play. They're going to wait a day or 2 and then IL and put Buck on. I think that's what's going to happen. They just will. They won't address it.
Don't you need a guy that can pinch run though? I'm not talking about a 5-tooler. I'm talking about a 1-tooler.
Deshaun Kaiser's the name that I know a lot. I see all the time too.
Santana had to run for himself because there was no one to pinch run for him.
Yeah, that whole thing was also very, very, very strange too. So, I don't know what they'll do for that, but Deshaun Kaiser's another name. I guess we'll see.
I'd rather have a guy who can actually sub in and do, can run, can do something. I'm not asking for greatness, but what you're talking about, I mean, Kepler's going to be, if he's going to be a spectator, I don't know that your bench can afford that. No. I mean, you're trying to win games, and the Braves have been up and down, but they ain't some terrible team. They've got some talent. They got a lot of talent. Anyway.
Right. So, yeah, State of the Twins will come up on Monday tomorrow on the Score North Twin Shows. Hit the like button, subscribe button. If my mic wasn't working, by the way, which I've seen a couple comments now, Judd, you might have been right. Maybe my mic wasn't working.
Oh, yeah, you're not. Yeah, you sound fine now.
Now I sound fine?
Yes.
SOB. Of course I do.
It wasn't you. I told you. You were going through your computer.
And
all these times it's like,
checklist.
Oh, Judd doesn't know what he's talking about. Judd, blah, blah, blah. I go, well, who didn't know?
Yeah. No, I had.
No, now you sound perfect now.
The drop down told me. The drop down told me.
No, the drop down lied to you. The drop down absolutely lied. Hey, one thing I think that we'll probably delve into pretty deeply tomorrow, not worth a conversation right now, too, is Carlos Correa's comments on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
That's a good Monday talker. Let's just say that Sports Dad, high alert. Let's just say that the Zolgad Substack, which is of course is Judd Zolgad at Substack.com. Let's say the Substack is going to be delving into the Carlos Correa conundrum.
Can't wait for that. So yeah, we'll have that tomorrow. Hit the like button, subscribe button. This is the Score North Twin Show Extra Innings. Have more Extra Innings coming up this week. Appreciate you guys listening and watching.